Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's topic, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope everyone is doing better than fantastic out there. Today I want to talk about something very important. And that's the topic of boundaries. I feel this is a topic that can't be talked about enough. Because here's the thing. If you grew up in a home with a narcissist parent or parents, you were likely taught to feel like there was something wrong with you if you kept things to yourself. Like somehow you were dishonest for keeping some things to yourself. So they trained you up into becoming a chronic confessor. So when you get older you still are doing this. And likely even before learning about narcissism, you realized this fact about yourself. And you tried and tried and tried to fix this within yourself. But quite simply your guilt. Your guilt of feeling like a bad dishonest person for not confessing this thing. Or not confessing that thing. Time and time again. You found yourself in the loop or cycle of being the confessor again. Now being truthful and honest are good things. But it's okay to not reveal all of your secrets or personal details to everyone around you. Or even sometimes people that are close to you. Or at least be careful and make sure you have some protection if you do reveal such information. Because like the title says, in case someone you trust decides to break it. You see, I've met and have talked to people that said, James, I was with this person for 10 years. We had a great relationship. We got along so well. Sure. Maybe a disagreement or two. But we truly got along. And I believed they loved me. As I loved them. Then out of nowhere they were informing me they were leaving me. Leaving me for someone else. Likely as someone else they have been seeing behind my back for the last few months if not longer. Now what does this common scenario tell us? That even though we feel or think we are in the best of relationships, or even using work as an example, maybe we made a great work friend, or we get along great with our boss. The one thing I have learned is whatever someone is going through in their life can make people do some really messed up stuff. And yes, if they aren't a narcissist, they might look back on it later and feel bad about what they did to you. But the fact is you were the one that had to pick up the pieces of your life when it was all over. That's why boundaries are so important. So you aren't in situation after situation where you are constantly hitting the bottom of life and needing to start over time and time again. This is why telling even people that you are close to that you just came into $50,000 is probably a bad idea. We've all heard that money can bring out the worst in people. Even people that you thought were trustworthy and that would never do you wrong. Well, it happens. The first step in fixing this is to know you aren't a dishonest person because you are keeping some things to yourself. The Bible tells us to guard our hearts. But at the same time it tells us to be kind and generous. It tells us to watch how we move and talk and deal with those who have power over us in the many areas of our lives. But at the same time living a great life. I believe God doesn't want to see us get tangled up in the snares and traps of those that have evil intent for our lives. And for those that have the potential to put us in a bad spot. Have you heard of the story of the guy that drove up to a first date in his work truck? It was reasonably clean but nothing special. And this person he went on this date with didn't want a second date because he drove a work truck. When in reality he had a top-of-the-line Mercedes-Benz at home and was a millionaire. He was nice and honest. Even honest about what he did for work. He just didn't go into great details about it. And because of his vehicle, this other person thought he was broke. You see, you can learn a great deal about people when you protect yourself. But also, let's say you are with someone for a while. Do you really think you know every detail about this person? The chances are you don't. And it's okay to continue to grow closer to them throughout your life as they grow closer to you. Closer in a careful and organic way. Because you see, real people. People with a moral compass. They respect those that have boundaries. Because it shows they love themselves in a healthy and normal manner. What I've found is when you don't have healthy boundaries. Not just the narcissists. But the narcissist lights. Or others going through transition periods of their life. Where they might not be making the best relationship choices. Will find their way into your life bubble. You confess your life and share every details with no boundaries whatsoever. And now this person has a devil on their shoulder, so to speak. Telling them to use you and manipulate you and take you for a ride. And you would be amazed. That evil voice is seductive and at times hard to say no to. Because none of us are perfect. Though you might have gotten into a relationship but didn't do someone wrong in that way. We've still all been seduced by that dark voice at some point in our lives and have done something wrong we felt ashamed about. Something we went back to God and asked forgiveness for. I want you to think. Just think. There are people right now struggling with those internal voices, so to speak. Where they feel tempted to do evil. And they struggle because they want to do good. Then all of a sudden here you come. No boundaries and making it so easy for them to do evil. Now is this your fault this person is going through this struggle? No. It's not your fault. Not one bit. Them doing evil to you regardless if you have boundaries or not is wrong. But if you knew someone was having money problems. Or maybe you have no clue. You wouldn't leave a messy pile of money on the sofa sitting next to them either. Even if they were your best friend. Because as the saying goes, we don't know what someone is going through and it's not worth it. Because sometimes good people do really bad things. Then on the flip side of things, evil people will pretend to be nice, kind and decent. And they will rob you blind and be off in the wind. With you wondering what happened. And scrambling again to put back together the pieces of your life. But those people that really mean well. They will respect you have boundaries. And they won't see you as dishonest. They will see you of having good character and self-love. Because nowadays, we have videos on YouTube right now. Literally with people teaching others how to pretend to love someone. And to take them for everything they have. Which is nothing more than teaching someone how to be a narcissist. But just using a different name. With that said, you are important. And you are worth you loving yourself enough to have boundaries for those things important in your life. And those things aren't always physical items. It could be what's in your heart. And if you want to share such information, you can do so by writing a blog. Or commenting on a video. So you don't have people using this information in your personal life to get a leg up on you. I found doing this work on this channel has not only made me feel good that it's helping others, but it allows me to work through a great many things. So I'm able to take a step back and think before I speak. And think before I share. I keep information about Susie to myself with others. I keep information about my mother with others to myself as well. Even when I feel compelled to say something. I've realized that if I did, it likely wouldn't help my friendship with this person and would serve no positive purpose. Except to show my boundaries aren't so solid. So sharing here to help others allows me the ability in real life to more times than not. To step back and think to myself. Should I really say or share that? And like I've said before, there are many times later, I would realize how glad I am that I kept certain information to myself. And as a result I feel like I'm growing and getting better at not only dealing with narcissists, lights, and all others in between. But I also feel like I'm getting better at dealing with myself. With that said, that's all I have for now. I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.